You know, there's a lot of people in Texas that would consider Austin as being the music mecca of, Texas. But, a little thing that people might not know is there's thousands of bands in the San Antonio area.
I don't know why they hide all this gold. The signs all around us, 10-foot paintings down in Denver. Looks like
First, state your name and your instrument,
Alright, well, I'm Ben and I play guitar.
Okay. And what's the name of your band?
Under Nothing.
Under Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
How long you guys been together?
Probably going on 6 years now.
6 years. And do you help with writing songs or lyrics or anything like that?
Yeah, we actually all pretty much contribute to the entire songwriting process. So,
where do you come up with your material? You think? Where does it come from?
Really, it just comes from whatever sounds cool in a room at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We do have some premeditated stuff, but for the most part, all of our stuff really just comes from the jam.
I saw y'all played at the White Rabbit. I mean, is that pretty cool?
I mean, that's pretty much our home right there. But I guess that'd be our favorite too.
Your favorite?
Right, our favorite is Rock City Bar. Olé!
How long have you been playing guitar?
Probably about 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
Okay, and when did you start with this band? Did you start this band, or did you play with somebody else before?
Well, I'd been in a couple bands around town, but they didn't really count because they were middle school, early high school bands. But pretty much me and Kevin got together in an earlier band that we played in high school, and I played drums and he played bass. And then we just kind of parted ways with that band, and then met up with Chris and a guy named Albert and started jamming with them, and then just kind of went from there.
State your name and what you do in the band.
Okay, my name is Kevin DeLuz, and I am the vocal machine in this band.
All right.
Bye.
So how long have you been with this band?
7 years.
7 years?
7 years.
And
Everyone's going to say differently.
10 years.
it seems like 10. So what's the style of your genre? What would you say the kind of music that you guys play?
We are Texas stomp metal.
Do you help with writing some of the lyrics to these songs?
The vast majority, yeah.
Yeah?
All the time. Sometimes, the other boys will be like, this word, and I'm like, that's cool, but it's up to me.
So whatever works, huh?
Exactly.
So, what's probably your favorite place to play? Where do you think you get the most fans at?
Oh, man. We haven't played there yet. The most, I guess, in town is White Rabbit.
Uh-huh. Can you remember one of your gigs that was like really stood out to you? Was
CD release last August.
CD release?
Was it last August or 2 years ago? Last August. I think it was last August, but it was awesome. Yeah, lots of people, lots of friends, lots of fans.
Steve, and I play the bass.
Okay. How long have you been with the band, Steve?
Let's see, 6, 7, 8 years.
8 years. What is it that you hope to accomplish with this band? Where do you see yourself?
Looking for a contract, signing, indie, major, we want to start getting on the road, play new shows out of town, out of state.
Mm-hmm.
That's the plan.
How many fans do you think you guys have that follow you guys around?
Well, according to MySpace, we have 126,000 fans come to the show. So, yeah. But no, we have a good stable following in town. We're starting to get a new following in Houston, which is nice. And then you branch out to Dallas, and that's pretty much how you do it.
Now, have y'all played any shows in Houston?
Yes. This show seems to be a good place to play. Played the Pit, not bad venues. A couple more coming up in Houston. We got some promoters that are helping us. We have some really dedicated fans up there helping us promote street teams. So branching out.
Now, can you think of one of the gigs that y'all's played that was really memorable?
Memorable? I think one of the first national shows we played, we opened for Kitty. Kitty still has, believe it or not, a huge following of people. You pull up to the venue, and they have a line wrapped around the venue, the rabbit, just waiting to get in. It's like 6 p.m. The doors open at 8. By the time we take the stage, we're local, so we're the opening band. The place is just packed. You can't even move. So it was a killer show.
State your name and what you do with the band.
My name's Chris. Play guitar in Under Nothing.
How long have you been with the band?
Since day one.
That was a good answer.
Good answer!
It's the only one that's correct.
What do you hope to accomplish with this band?
I hope for it to be my daily activity. Do everything that I want to do in life and just be happy and do something that's passionate about and go out there and bring something that all of us put together and bring it to people who don't have that and inspire other people to potentially do it as well.
Okay.
And make a shit ton of money.
How is that making a shit ton of money so far?
In the band, kind of sucks.
Kind of sucks.
But it's worth it every time. Even if we get $1 for what we do, it's worth it. And a lot of times it's just someone buy us a beer, someone come up and say, hey, you guys fucking rock, you guys are badass, and that makes it all worth it. You get up there and sweat in the room for hours and hours and hours and hours to write a song, and if one person likes it, fucking mission accomplished.
What do you think about the metal scene in San Antonio?
I think it's really fragmented. I think a lot of times everyone's trying to go in the opposite direction, and it's really hard to, get anything really accomplished and make a name for San Antonio when, there's so many bands that want to do it such a different way, and they never align with each other. So it's a lot of time that we're just counterproductive in what we're doing. If we just got a core group of bands to stick together and push themselves around the state, I think that would bring up such a better name for San Antonio.
Do you think bands in y'all's genre are competitive with each other, or do you think that you guys work together well to try to accomplish that?
Right now, I think there's too much, there's a big sense of entitlement that just because I went out and bought $2,000 guitar rig, $5,000 guitar, I think that I should be playing these places when they don't have, the sense of professionalism behind them. They show up late to gigs. They're just all around douchebags, and they're just not nice to everyone, and I just hate that sense of entitlement. I think that's something that's really firmly rooted in San Antonio.
Do you think that the fans of your type of music are fickle, or do you think they pick a group and stick with it, or?
I would say that they're both. They're extremely, extremely judgmental. Because there's 50,000 genres now of metal. So they're extremely fickle in what they choose. They really like what they like. But once they find a band that they like, they'll stick through it, even through the shitty albums and the good albums and the bad shows and the good shows. I think there's a lot of loyalty in the scene when it comes to, you find a band that you really like, you really like them.
You guys are in San Antonio, Texas, so do you think you can build enough fan base and move around the state to become a national act, or do you think that you're eventually going to have to take this thing to the West Coast?
We're going to have to get out of San Antonio to start with. You have to have the following in the major cities, Houston, Dallas, Austin. If you just stick to San Antonio, nothing's going to happen.
Why do you think the fans in San Antonio are so fickle? People don't, they don't follow bands.
Flooded heavy metal.
It's
way too much.
Everyone says San Antonio is the capital of metal, but that might have been right in the 80s, but now it's the metal scene is the new stuff, the high school screaming, bashing guitars around, jumping around, no talent involved. Those shows, they get 500 people because they have the team following.
Right.
We try to feed off that too. We've made a lot of fans off of that, but to really get out, you got to get out of town.